Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to tackle the A-level examination. But the only difference is, unlike other videos where more than going into details on what you should study in the last few days, like what you should study in biology, what you should study in physics, what you should study in chemistry, I feel like there is one more aspect that is more important than how you study in the last few days. Because imagine if you're able to, let's say, remember 100% or 75% of the content, and if you go to the exam and you freeze, you are not able to put out the 75% of the content that you studied, then that is a problem. So the main reason behind this is the mental state or the attitude you have towards the exam. So the most challenging thing that a student faces during this examination is the stress, the sheer amounts of stress that a student will face. Now, why do we feel stressed? Obviously, this is a very important exam. This is also a do or die exam. This is also a life changing exam. So many people's expectations on you, the one who is writing the A level examination. But does that matter? Is A levels really a life changing exam? Obviously, for a person to be successful, A levels can help. But just because you get 3 A's in A levels doesn't mean you're going to be the best person or the most successful person out there. Just because you fail in A levels doesn't mean you're going to be the worst person out there also. That is the first thing that you need to get into your head. A levels is not the be all end all. It is just a simple barrier that you have to overcome. If you overcome, good for you. If you don't overcome, you can try again. It is not the end of life. First, get that into your head. Just because you fail an examination does not mean you failed at life, right? As long as you wake up another day, you have another chance. Life is all about getting chances. Life is all about utilizing these chances. You will always get opportunities. You will always get chances, right? So just because you fail one exam, you feel like you are not prepared for one exam, just keep in mind it is not all over. However, we studied for 2 years, so we might as well do this A level exam to the best possible way, right? So like I mentioned before, the most problematic thing when a student goes to write the exam would be freezing. Whatever they studied is not coming to their head. Their palms are starting to sweat. They are sweating a lot all over their face. Hands are starting to shiver, shake. Nothing is coming to the pen when they're writing on the paper. That is a problem. That is because they have a lot of nervousness. They have a lot of anxiety. This nervousness is actually good for you in the correct amounts. Why? It's sympathetic stimulation, so it will increase your brain activity. So now how do we make sure that this nervousness doesn't go out of hand? We need to control it. The first step in controlling the nervousness would be to address the nervousness. Okay, this A-level exam matters to me. I have studied for 2 years, or I have studied for 1 year. I put my effort into it. So therefore this exam matters to me. Since it matters to me, I am nervous. It is okay to be nervous. It is okay to be anxious. Whatever I studied is right there in my head. Whatever I didn't study is not there. As long as I write down what I studied, that is enough for me. If there is a question that is questioning on a fact that I don't know or that I didn't study, I can't help it. I didn't study, therefore I don't know. If there is a question on something I know, wait a minute, I studied this, therefore I know. You need to have a simple mindset like that. Address the anxiety, and then this will actually help you. That is the first step in dealing with this nervousness. Second step would be preparation. The more you are prepared, the less nervous you will feel, right? So if you have prepared right from the beginning, then you don't have to be nervous. If you didn't prepare, then you can't be nervous. Okay. However, some students, they studied from day one. They studied really hard the last year. They still feel nervous. Why is that? The main issue with these type of students is they complete 85 to 90% of the syllabus. They know it completely. However, there is this 15 to 10% of the syllabus that is bothering them. So they can't recall that 10 to 15% of the syllabus. So they think not only that 10 to 15%, but the entire syllabus they can't remember. But in actuality, they can remember 90%, they can't remember 10%. So from based on what they know, if they write in the exam, theoretically they should be able to get 90%. However, since these people focus on what they don't know, now for example, you can do 100 good things to a person, but if you do one bad thing, they are focusing on the bad thing. But just because you do one bad thing doesn't mean that 100 good things are vanished. No, just like that. Now, for example, if you take applied biology, you didn't study applied biology, that is unit 10. However, you studied unit 1 to unit 9. So don't worry about it. If an applied biology question comes, forget about it. Mark it, maybe kana shot, luckily you will get a mark. However, keep in mind, you studied 90%, or you studied 85%, or you studied 70%. You even studied 50%. From the 50% you know, you answer, right? If you haven't studied it, you can't be nervous. But if you studied it, then you don't have to be nervous. Is that clear? Do not focus on what you don't know, focus on what you know. That will really help you when you're going to the exam. So now when you're going to do the bio paper, let's say in the morning MCQ, surely a vitamin and mineral question will come. Ayyo, I can't remember calcium, I can't remember potassium, I can't remember vitamin D. One MCQ maximum. Now you will quickly go to that calcium vitamin D question and you will see, ayyo, I can't remember this. Oh my god, what am I going to do? And then you go to the first question with that in other term. You say with that tension, with that pressure, you will not be able to do other questions. Keep in mind, if you don't know a question, you don't know that question. It's over. It's it. That's it. Forget about it. You do the things that you know. First question, you know, you mark it. Second question, you know, you mark it. Like that, keep going. You will, if you have prepared at least 75 to 80%, keep in mind the ones that you know. If you do not get nervous or if you don't freeze in the exam, as long as you have prepared for it, you will be able to answer. So keep in mind, you know more than you think. You have studied. Your hard work, sweat, and tears will not betray you. Whatever work that you put in this last year will eventually come and be the helping hand for you on the day of the A-level exam. Right? So do not be nervous. Why? Whatever you studied, if it comes, you should be able to do it because you studied it. Whatever you didn't study, if it comes, can't help, you didn't study it. If you have prepared from day one, keep in mind the amount that you didn't study will be very less. You just need a 75% to pass an A-level exam. Pass means you to get an A. You just need 75%. So as long as you know the 75% of the theory properly, you got that 75. So don't focus on the things you don't know. Focus on what you know. This is how you make sure that you have the proper mindset during the A-level examination. Okay, that is step 2 of dealing with nervousness. Okay, the last step or third step that I would say to beat this nervousness or the freezing thing that you get during your A-level exam would be to obtain confidence before your A-level exam. At least now that means these days, right? So what you should do is you should try past papers from 2019 onwards, the new syllabus past papers, and try these questions. So by this time, I assume you would have done these past papers at least once or twice. These questions would have been completed in your school, your classes, or whatever, right? So you should be able to get these questions correct. So if you get these questions correct, carry that confidence. Okay, this is how the 2025 A-level exam paper also will be like. So if I'm capable of getting this much marks in 2022, I should be able to get this much marks in 2025, right? So if you get the questions correct, carry that confidence forward. If you get the questions wrong, try those type of questions from the previous year's past papers. Okay, now I got this question wrong. I did these questions from the previous year's past papers and now I'm confident I will not get them wrong. So it's a win-win situation. However, I do not advise you to do model papers or FW term papers. I'm not going to tell the name of the papers. Term papers, model papers, so those they try to put difficult questions to make a child go mad, right? So a good funny story that I can tell you is there is a pilot examination known as done by this Moroto University. So I did get 3 A's in my level exam with I think around 2.19 or 2.2 Z score. I didn't do that A level. I didn't do that pilot examination because I was scared that I will fail. So that's how life is, you know. So again, I'm telling you, do this 2019 to 2024 A level papers. Try as many questions as you can. Try to get it right. If you get it wrong, do those questions from the previous years and get the confidence there. Okay, so carry this confidence onto the A level exam. However, don't be overconfident. But I don't think any person there is there in Sri Lanka who is overconfident in the A level exam. Okay, so that is not a problem. Overconfidence is never a problem. Okay. Okay, now it's time for the advice for the day of the examination. So let's say your A level exam is tomorrow, right? So obviously you have your own plan what you need to complete in biology, physics, and chemistry. So you do your plan, right? I'm not going to tell you my plan because it's anyway too late for you to change what you have planned, right? So do what you plan, and then I recommend you should get at least 5 hours of sleep. Don't study through the night. Why? A level exam is not like any other exam. It requires analytical and critical problem solving skills. So you need to think. It is very difficult to think without sleeping. So make sure that you get at least 5 hours of sleep. Okay, right. Then once you wake up in the morning, get up, continue to study, continue to study, continue to study. Have a breakfast, right? Eat something before the exam. Don't go to the exam starving. Just because I tell you to eat something, don't take a big packet of almas biryani and fill down the whole thing, right? Have something small, a bun or maybe a pastry or something like that, and go to the exam. Be there in the exam hall at least 30 minutes before. Make sure that you have all your necessary things at least the night before. Prepare and keep. Okay, I need a pencil, I need a pen, I need this, I need that. I can't remember the stationery, so I just use my Apple Pencil now, right? So prepare all your stationeries and keep. Be there in the exam hall at least 30 minutes before. So now the feeling that you get before the paper, waiting in that seat, is a surreal feeling. It's one of the most craziest feeling that you will feel. Okay, so you're sitting on the chair, heart is beating very fast. It's like your heart is coming to your mouth. It's going to come out of your mouth. Some sounds are coming from the stomach. Hands are vibrating. Okay, when is this fellow going to give the paper? All the invigilators are there. They have these stacks. Probably the A level papers only. They have all of these stacks. Okay, so you have come 30 minutes earlier. You have come and seen. Now, in that moment, your mind will race. Oh my God, I can't remember this. I can't remember that. I need to study this. I need to study that. No, forget about it. What you study, like I mentioned before, what you study you will remember. Your brain is not what an empty bucket, no, it's a brain, right? It's one of the most marvelous marvelous things that you can find in nature, right? So it will not forget. So you are sitting there, take a deep breath, take deep breaths. I can do this. Tell yourself that. Okay, tell yourself that. The more you tell yourself that, you will eventually believe it. Fake it till you make it. You must have heard of that saying. Tell yourself that I can do this. What I studied will come. What I studied will come, and from what I studied, I will be able to mark the papers, the answers, the correct answers. From what I studied, if a question comes, I will be able to get it right. Hopefully, I don't get questions from what I didn't study, but it's okay. Whatever happens, I will face it. I have tried the best I can. I have put the effort that I could, maximum effort that I could. I can't change the past, nor can I change the present. So all I can do is pray and hope that what I did would be enough. Tell yourself that. Tell yourself that you can do it. Okay? Positive reinforcement. Then you get the paper. They give you 10 minutes reading time now also. So once you get the paper, don't just directly go and start answering the questions, right? Just go through the paper. Not, you don't have to read each question even. Just go through the paper. They have asked from nervous system. They have asked from hydrodynamics. They have asked from properties of matter. Just go through the paper and see what is there. And then you come to the first question. Keep in mind 50 questions in an MCQ. Each question carries 1 mark. Each question is important. Same thing for an SCQ or part 2 paper. Each question is important. So don't give your maximum attention to the first few parts and eventually your focus will drain away during the last part. No. Actively think, okay, I'm going to give maximum concentration to this question. Which of these organelles are so and so? Okay, mitochondria, peroxisome, right? This, that, whatever way you can remember, find a way and answer. Okay, then once you answer the question, take a deep breath. Next question. think, maximum focus, answer. Next question, next question, next question, keep going. However, once you come across a question you don't know, don't spend your entire time there. No problem. Whether it is something that you studied hundreds of times, it's okay. If it didn't come, go to the next question. So out of that 50, maybe in the first round, at least 25, 30, you will be able to answer at once. No? Then the remaining, you go and give a double check, right? You go and try again from the remaining. From the remaining again, from the most confident one to the least confident one. That means the one you are able to, the one you think you should be able to get the answer, try from that to the one that you think, okay, I anyway can't get this answer, I will just try it for the sake of it. That is how you do a question. That is how you do a paper. Always try to get the marks. Try to get the marks. So if a certain MCQs you need required maybe 10 minutes to do it, that's not worth it. No, 10 minutes for 1 mark. But if you take the first two questions, maybe half a minute for 1 mark. So obviously that mark is more valuable. So make sure you do all the questions first. And then in the second round, you come and do the questions that you don't. Right? So that is how you face the examination. Then once you're done with the paper, okay, double check it, go through it again, check whether you have written the index number properly, check whether you have marked the question properly, check whether you have put the page numbers properly. All right, it's done. Keep the paper. I have done the best I could. With the cards that I have been dealt with, I played the best hand. I have done the best I could. I have nothing to worry about. I have no regrets. Maybe you have regrets. Just tell yourself that you have no regrets. Gaslight yourself. Fake it till you make it, like I said. Focus on the next paper. You might know only maybe 25 or 30 MCQs. But who knows? Maybe from the ones that you put Kana, you got 40. Maybe from the ones you put Kana, you got 45 even. It's okay. Forget about that paper once you're done with the paper. Obviously, if you are doing it in a school and if you have friends, there will be a group of people discussing, what's the answer for the second one, what's the answer for the fifth one. Go home. Go with your parents home or take a bus or three-wheeler, go home. Go home, MCQ paper, mute all your YouTube. Some fellow will put the marking scheme for some of these paper. Just mute everything, put the MCQ paper in some corner, study for the SCQ or study for the part 2. Okay, that is how you should approach this A-level paper. Do not go and check your MCQ marks. That can break your A-level experience, right? Because one thing, the marking schemes might not be accurate. The official marking scheme will be sent much later on. So do not check your A-level MCQ marks. Study, move on to the next one. Study, study, study. Once you're done with all three, if you want, you check. Even then, don't. It's not necessary. What's the point? The A-level results will come at one time. So don't worry about it. So in conclusion, like how Vijay said in Nanban, Tolviya Vetriya Sollidu, all is well. Keep in mind, regardless of how you do this exam, it is not the end. There is always another try. There is always another exam. There is always another chance. There is always another opportunity. No exam or no challenge in life is worth losing your life over. Right? Keep that in mind, and may this video make it easy for you. And I hope this video actually helped you to ease your nerves or give you some idea on how to face this exam. So in addition to that, keep in mind one more thing, that your hard work and your efforts will never let you down. So I wish you all the best of luck, and I will see you all soon.